Okay, we are live. I'm just going to give it a couple of moments to see who comes into the chat room, give people, because sometimes it takes just a few moments, minutes for people to get notification. And I like your color scheme. You look very nice. All right. Let's see. Let me go ahead and get the chime. All right. We're starting to get people to come on in the chat room. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We have a lovely guest here this evening, and I'm so excited. And I have images to share. So what happened was I had everything set up. I went to go put the little one down for bed, and then my computer, for whatever reason, when it goes into sleep mode, sometimes it freezes. So all the images I set up, they went away, and so it's going to take a few minutes to get things started again. Okay, welcome. Yes. On High says her jewelry is marvelous. So people have been watching you already. Okay, it's obviously someone from Facebook. All right, so let's go ahead and take a nice, deep, centering breath and bring us all into this sacred space. Okay, welcome, welcome. And you know what I forgot to bring up is your Etsy account. So let me do this one. Let me bring up the Etsy account right quick. Best kept sacred. Best kept sacred. Wait a minute. Best, right? Best kept sacred.
Kept sacred at etsy.com.
Yeah, let me put Etsy in there. All right, there we go. Okay, I am so happy to welcome a very special and sweet guest on today, and would like to introduce everyone to the lovely, and hopefully I pronounced her name correctly, the lovely Romana Beauchamp. Was that right?
Beauchamp.
Beauchamp. Beauchamp. And of course, that's French, right, Romana?
Yes, I was born in Haiti.
Oh, that is so cool because my dearest friend from college, who I consider to be my best friend in life, my sister, she is originally from Haiti. She's Haitian American, and I love the Haitian people. You have such beautiful people.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. You are welcome. Okay, so we have Romana Bouchon here, and Romana, you make fabulous copper and crystal jewelry. And I've been following you for the past couple of years. And since I started doing these interviews, I was like, it'd be awesome to have you on to show off your beautiful works of art. Can you tell me a little about your spiritual background and what sort of led up to where you are today, if you don't mind?
Well, ever since I would say a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I was, first of all, I was always different. The black sheep of the family, went through many different, um, I would say, abuse as a child, which made me go within and wanted to find out more about life and about spirituality. And even though I grew up in the church, I it never resonated with me. It never really resonated. Actually, one time I remember I went to a Pentecostal church and we had this African minister come in that day and he had us all lined up and he touched everybody, and everybody fell out on the floor. And here comes my turn. I walk up to him, and he keeps tapping me on my third eye, and I'm just sitting there staring at him like, what? And then I felt so embarrassed that I wasn't falling, so I just fell
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
there, and watched till everybody else started getting up. Then I got up. It just none of it never really resonated with me. I always felt that there was more.
Uh-huh.
I always felt that there was more, and so I went on a search. I went on a search. I read many books. Went to different temples and different like Black consciousness groups,
Mm-hmm.
and just trying to find the answers, But I feel like what really started for me was one time I went to this lady. She was an energy healer
Okay.
in Boston. I lived in Boston. I grew up in Boston, and her name was Aura. She's a sweet lady. So um, it was a breathwork session that I went to, and
Wow.
so we're doing the breathing and what have you, and all of a sudden it was like I went into and I started screaming, and she came to me and she patted on my chest. She's like, just let it out, whatever it is, just let it out. And so I started breathing and breathing and breathing, and then the session was over, and everybody told their experiences and what have you, and no one heard me scream. No one heard else in the room knew that anything was happening with me. So when I got home that evening, my whole left face had swollen.
Oh, wow.
I went to the ER because I was like 19 or 18 or 19 and freaking out like, what is going on with me? And they didn't know what was wrong. They just sent me home and gave me antibiotics, but I didn't want to take antibiotics. Something inside me said, don't take these things. So I didn't take them. And at the time, I think I had like 3 or 4 crystals. That was my first sets of crystals. I remember it was citrine, amethyst, quartz, and I think that was it. Maybe it was, yeah, those three. And something said grab them and put them under my pillow and
Uh-huh.
went to sleep. So I grabbed them, I put them under my pillow and went to sleep. I woke up and it was like nothing never happened to me. My face went down. I was
Mm.
feeling myself again. And so that was like my first experience with not only crystal, but my first spiritual experience,
Oh,
you
wow.
know, which led me to want to know more, So yeah. So my background was Christianity
Oh,
to
okay.
answer the question. I grew up in the church, but somewhere along the way, that was it. I ventured off.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I just had to put someone in timeout who's carrying on an inappropriate conversation. I apologize for that. So, so that leads you up to today. When did you start? Okay, so you had those crystals then. What started you on the path of creating all of this beautiful jewelry? How did that happen?
I well, first of all, I'm a holistic health practitioner.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that.
Yes, you know, I went to one school, and I took applied kinesiology and
Okay.
iridology, herbology, body work. But at the time, I had ran out of money and I
Uh-huh.
couldn't continue,
Right.
you know, and I had to leave the school and I was devastated,
Mm-hmm.
and so life kind of happened and I found myself sick. I didn't know what was going on with me. I woke up in a coma, and
Mm-hmm.
they told me I had, when I woke up from the coma, which was the 5-day coma, they told me I had hypothyroid,
Oh,
secondary adrenal insufficiency. I
oh,
had hyperglycemia. There was my body was just breaking down.
Right.
Autoimmune disease and all the things was happening. And I was still between worlds when I woke up from the coma.
Mm.
I was seeing things that people wasn't seeing. I was hearing things that people wasn't seeing, and I thought I was losing my mind. And no one, I didn't have anyone around me to teach me what was happening to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went back home just to my children, like not knowing what to do, with myself because I was afraid that something was happening to me. I didn't have no explanation. So a sister I knew told me about Queen Afua and gave me
Oh,
her number.
yes.
And
Yes.
so I called her. I told her what was going on with me, and that's when she told me that actually I had a near death experience, and
Mm-hmm.
that um and certain it was also a spiritual awakening. And
Right.
she told me that I had to get grounded. I had to go in my backyard and sit on the ground, and I had to get in the bath. She had me doing sea salt baths and spiritual baths. She had me eating, drinking, but not eating really, drinking green juices, and I had to fast and pray and chant and do breath work to get back to wholeness. And it took me a while, and I was freaking out some days. Some days I would fear things and hear things, and I would call her. And mind you, it was beyond the consultation um, period. And she would still take my call, and she
Oh,
would sit there with me, and she's like, "Okay, did you take your bath today? Okay, I need you to go take your bath." She's like, "Okay, I need you to go outside and do this. Okay, I need you to go do your enema. I need you to do your prayers and your chants." She was so sweet, and she didn't have to, take the extra time with me because I didn't pay her, you
right,
know.
right,
But she did,
right.
she did, and her motherly nature helped me to heal and get back to wholeness. And one of the things that she did for me was invite me into Sacred Woman for personal wellness, and I did
Right.
that, and I was able to um, follow the Sacred Woman path. And as I got better and started healing, then I went on to take the Emerald Green Practitioners course,
Oh,
and
okay.
that
Can you say that last part again, Romana? I couldn't quite hear you. You said you went on to take what course?
the Emerald Green Practitioners course.
Oh,
It was
okay.
it
Okay.
was a year that was over a year long course, the one that I went to, and I became certified as a holistic health practitioner and wellness coach
And
through
that's through Queen Afua.
Wellness Institute. Yeah, I don't know what it's called now. I probably changed by now. It was a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
Yes, but it's Queen of Four. Yes,
Yes,
that was
yes. For those of you who
great.
may be unfamiliar with her, that's Queen Afua, Afua, and she is amazing. She has a book called Sacred Woman, and it is a marvelous book. So when did you start to sell crystals and make your beautiful crowns that you make?
I, I started making jewelry here and there. I would say about 9 years ago.
Okay. Romana, if you can do me a favor, I just got a little bit of feedback and from the room. They're saying, can you speak up a little bit louder? They say it's kind of hard to hear you. I think there's a little bit because of also the connection and your sweet, soft voice.
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
I hear you now a little bit better.
Okay. I started making the jewelry about 9 years ago, but back then it wasn't crystals. It was just glass and yeah, it was just glass beads. And I wasn't focused on really making jewelry back then. I was gonna come out here and be this holistic health practitioner.
Uh-huh.
And my house in Georgia, when I lived in Georgia, the whole front part was where I saw clients. I had a healing room where I saw people and did consultations and what have you. And but somewhere along the way, I realized that I wasn't here to do the hands-on healing.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, for some reason I wanted to teach. I wanted to write. You know, I wanted to go deeper into um, into it, other than the actual hands-on. You
Okay.
know, and I battled with it. I'm like, well, I went to school for this and paid all this money and what have you, but I realized that no, that I was called to still do healing work, but in another way. You
Wow.
know, one of the things that I learned through my own healing journey was that it's not it's not the foods that you eat that necessarily heal you. Because a lot of us, you know, I know for me, when I got sick, I was a vegan. As a matter of fact, I was like raw vegan for like 4 to 6 months. You know, I was vegan for years. I was eating all this live food. I was juicing, fasting. I would go on like 7 day water fast and all these things, and I was still sick.
Right,
And
right,
found out, at least for me, that it was the mind.
right,
It was the thoughts I had that was going through my mind, and all the abuse that I went through as a child. I was still holding on to all the unforgiveness and what have you. So it wasn't until I started working on my mind, I started working on my thoughts and my emotions, and started going within and illuminating the darkness, that I started to heal. So I decided that, and also my clients started dwindling down as far as coming into the my my center for like hands-on healing. I
right.
became the the person that they come to just to talk. You know, I would get like holistic counseling. I became a holistic counselor. Everybody would come just to talk and to tell me the different things that was going on within them, and ask for my advice and how I could help them. And I
Right.
loved it. I loved it better than I did the other stuff. Um, so that's how I transitioned from being that type of a healer. Now, as far as crystals is concerned, I've always loved stones. I've always loved nature. I
Hmm.
have a big crystal collection, rock collection. I go out in nature, and I would collect um, feathers. I have a big feather collection. I even collect um, bugs, dead bugs. I don't know. I've always been attracted to anything that has to do with nature, you know.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I
And
hear the volume. I'm not sure, unfortunately. People are still
yeah,
saying that they can hardly hear you, that the volume is a little bit low. But we will just do the best we can, and um, we will have Romana to speak a little bit louder, and
okay,
and invite people if they will just turn their volume up a little louder as well. So, Romana, if you could project a little bit more, and folks, if you can turn your volume up a little bit more. Go ahead, dear. I'm sorry.
can y'all hear me now?
Oh, that's much better. I'm not sure what you did different, but now you're loud and clear.
I'm just holding the phone now. I'm holding it right at my face.
Okay. So maybe when you were holding it before, you were covering the microphone. So go ahead at this volume, and however you're holding the phone now, I can hear you very loud and clear. So go ahead.
Okay. Well,
Perfect.
one day I just got a thought just came that actually was very loud and clear, that because I was praying for exactly what it is that I want, that Spirit wanted me to do, and I was told that I was here to help the goddess, to help raise her and to adorn her. That was the exact words that I heard,
Hmm.
to help her heal, and to help her illuminate the darkness. You know, to help her heal, to help her to get back on that throne.
So about how
You
many
know,
years
and
ago was
to
that?
to use. to use my skills to also adorn her, to help, because as women, these jewels help us feel good, help us feel beautiful, and they also have all these beautiful, wonderful healing properties. So I said okay, and I started, making crystal jewelry. And at first, I didn't know what I was doing. I made little simple glass beads, beaded jewelry before, but I never worked with copper or brass or none of these metals that I use now. I never did wire work or any of that. So I would just, I would just study. I would buy books and start, and then I didn't like. Everyone liked what I did, but I didn't
Right.
like it because it looked like everybody else's stuff, And that's when I started doing what I call freestyle rapping, which is
Okay.
I guess to be considered like abstract art, but
Right.
the way the metal fell, however twist and turn, whatever came out of it, that's what it was gonna be. No rules, no anything, just whatever my spirit, whatever rose within me. That's what.
So
That's what.
Romana, you didn't move your hand on the mic, did you? Because we heard you loud and clear for a few moments, and all of a sudden it got muffled again.
Can you hear me now?
That's much better. So, however you have it there, because
Okay.
unfortunately, I keep getting from people in the chat room that they can't hear you, and they're like, I wish, and putting a sad face. Uh, okay. All right. Okay, so however you're holding the phone now, just to make sure, unless do you happen to have earbuds? Yeah, earbuds that you can, with the mic on it. Do you have any of those? I don't know if that would.
It's just that I would have to go get them,
Okay.
but you hear me better now. I'm holding it like this.
Well, let's see. Yes, as long as if you can maintain that, because otherwise it's it was really muffled, unfortunately. We might end up having to do this interview over again. Make sure you have earbuds, but we will keep going now and then see how how the interview turns out. And if it turns out that it was really muffled on the other end, which is what some people are saying, and we'll just do it the best we can today, and would love to have you back on again. So you were talking about you just taught yourself how to rap, and you did abstract rapping and freestyle. So I'm going to show some of your images, and if you can explain what crystals are there and why you chose that piece. And
Okay.
if there does happen to be a problem with the volume, I will do my best to, to let you know, because people they're really interested in wanting to hear what you have to say. So let me go ahead and share this one crown here. And this is a close-up that I'm doing. So let's see. Okay, can you see that one, Romana?
Yes, that one's selenite.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So tell us about this piece and why selenite, and what are the properties of selenite. And this is you in the photos. Just want everybody to know.
Yeah, that's me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. So tell me about the selenite and why you chose selenite for this crown, and what is the significance of its design, as well as the earrings are for you.
Okay. This one came to me in a vision, and I just saw that, it was like a moon goddess, and she had a selenite crown, and it had to um deal with the energy of the moon. So I didn't know exactly how I was going to do it. I've never done that before.
Okay.
Um, but I went for it, and it took me about 14 hours. I worked um in the early evening and all straight through the middle of the night. I couldn't me whenever I get an inspiration,
Mhm.
I will follow through all the way till I'm done.
Wow.
So I just sat up all night and created that. Um, Selenite is great for, cleansing the aura. It's a great stone for women, because it helps with fertility. It helps protect the unborn baby and the mother while she's carrying the baby.
Mm.
Selenite, doesn't have to necessarily be cleansed.
Right,
Um, but you can clean it, if you feel like you have to, you can, but you wouldn't put it, it's one of those stones that will dissolve if you put it
yes,
in water.
right,
Cleanse selenite in moonlight. You will cleanse selenite using any type of sacred smoke like sage or palo santo, any that you choose, you can use to pass it through.
right,
Um, yeah, you can also take a little bit of like rainwater and just gently splash it on it. I wouldn't sit in it, you know. And it will also cleanse that way as well. So and people also can um put it in like brown rice, cover it in a bed of brown rice, and then the rice will soak up all the negative energy, and just then you wouldn't reuse the rice, you would just toss that out,
right,
or give animals, or the birds or what have you, if you don't want to, waste any food.
right. And I know sometimes people will bury their crystals in the ground as well.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the cool thing about selenite is where selenium comes from. It's a
right.
much needed mineral. And I'm just going to show your Etsy page so people know they can find you on Etsy at Best Kept Sacred. Best Kept Sacred. And she's been on there since 2004, 2014. And you also have a Facebook page. And
Yeah.
now I know you have your personal profile. Do you also have a business profile as well?
Yes, I do. I have Our Natural Way
Or
on
not?
Facebook,
Uh-huh.
and Our Natural Way is a space for women. I have men on the page as well, but it's that's because when I initially started Our Natural Way, I didn't know the direction that I was going with it.
Hmm.
I wasn't given, I knew I was it had to do with holistic health and healing, but I didn't have a direction. As the years went on, it became a space where, women that has gone through trauma of any
Right.
kind can find the healing that they need.
Right.
So that's what Our Natural Way is about. I also have Best Kept Sacred. Best Kept Sacred, you will find anything that has to do with the jewelry as well as the crystals, because I sell crystal kits and for sacred space for your home.
Yeah.
So you might get a kit for maybe the love corner of your home, or you maybe you want to create an altar, and you need a kit for that, and you'll find stuff like that. So Best Kept Sacred, will you'll find information about cleansing your house, about decluttering your home, using natural things for your home, natural how to energetically change the energy, and using crystals and different things, and sound and bells and clapping and incense to cleanse the energy of your house.
Right
You will
on.
find, so how to keep yourself sacred. You are your own sacred space. So
Right.
you know find information on that, and also the jewelry, the crowns and things like that, to help adorn your sacred space, and to keep that high vibration on you as well.
Well, I thought of you, I've done shows on crystals, and generally, especially some of my old shows, I've always brought up a different crystal and the meanings of it. And I've had people ask me if I sold crystals, and I mean, I will, but it's not really my it's not really my retail avenue. What I generally sell is my art, and as well as I make copper earrings as well. And so I'm thinking, who do I know that I've purchased crystals from and that I know that sells crystals as well? And that's why I thought it would be nice to have you on as someone that I can say, hey, you want to look to buy crystals online and know that you're getting the real deal and not something that's synthetic. And so that's why I wanted to have you on, Romana. So I've been showing your different crowns that you've made. And let's see, this one, we really got the ooh and the ah. Is there a story behind this particular crown, Romana?
This one
Yes, ma'am.
is clear quartz and rutilated quartz. And all those stones has to do with your crown chakra and your what would you call that? Um I drew a blank. I drew a blank. Oh, I think it's soul star chakra. It has to do with not it has to do with all your higher chakras.
Okay, right. The soul star,
So
right. The
yes,
three or
the,
four
the
that
one above it. Yes.
right.
So basically I wanted I wanted my crowns to represent not just royalty and beauty. I also wanted people, like I have people that get them just for meditation.
Right.
I have people that get them for different rituals or different initiations that they're about to go to. So that this particular one had that in mind as well, for calling on, higher messages
Hmm.
from the higher realms. So that was in the with I chose to do this one with the copper as opposed to the silver because I wanted to be I wanted that copper for what the copper does, the
Right.
conductive nature of that copper, and also with the quartz and the amplifier that it is, all the I wanted all that in there, so it's a very powerful crown. I actually had a model um wore it and she kept on saying like, whoa, this is like powerful, I could feel it, it's a very powerful crown, and if you know anything about charging and programming your crystal, that's a perfect crown to all of them really. You can program, because that's another thing I learned throughout the years. You can have a crystal in your house all you want, but
Hmm.
it's not going to do anything for you until you give it its assignment. You know, until you give it an assignment, when you receive a crystal, you clean it, or a crystal jewelry or what have you, you cleanse it, you charge it, and then you program it. You give it its assignment. It's here to work for you. It's here to do the to assist you, but you just putting it down in your house is yeah, you'll receive some frequency from it, but even then only for a while, because just like your phone is, you charge it and it's fully charged, after a while it start losing its charge. That's why sometimes you see a crystal get dull, or doesn't look as vibrant. So you have to constantly cleanse and charge your crystals. You have to however way you do that, whether you put it in the sun or whether you put it in the moon, whether you can use like candle magic. You can let's say citrine, light a yellow candle and place the citrine next to it, and allow the citrine to absorb the energy from that yellow candle. That's now we're going into color therapy and energetic healing. So there's many ways that you can cleanse and charge a crystal. So just leaving it there, that's nice. However, I really love this this particular one you're showing with the mother goddess and the ankh representing life.
Uh-huh.
It has rose quartz. It has freshwater pearl representing the life and representing the ankh representing life and and the whole it was such a beautiful set someone for Mother's Day. It was very, very nice.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I like
um
that mother of pearl, that rose quartz for love, for unconditional love. That's a beautiful choice
yeah,
for Mother's Day. Yeah, I was just going.
and it has one I believe it has like a quartz in there too for as an amplifier of
Mhm.
all that energy. Yeah.
Let's see. There's another one. I think this is it right here. Okay, so let me bring, hold on one second. Let me go up. So tell us about this particular crown.
That particular crown is I just drew a blank. Carnelian, sorry.
Uh-huh. Did I lose it?
It's a
Oh no.
carnelian crown. It's a
Uh-huh.
carnelian
Okay.
crown. Yeah, that's it right there as well.
Okay.
And I did that one because I have a lot of women that come to me for womb wellness. They have gone through a lot of things. As women, we hold our relationships in our wombs. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's not just our relationships with our partners, but our relationships with our mothers, our friends. Our siblings, our fathers. So, that's why we as women, we have a lot of the womb issues. We have the fibroid tumors, the cysts, the yeast infections. A lot of us have this toxic womb, because we have a lot of trapped emotions and that needs healing. So I wanted to create something that will help assist in the healing um, of these particular women. So you'll see, if you go through my shop, a lot of carnelian.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of you'll see some repetitive stones and that's for a particular reason. You'll see a lot of carnelian, you'll see a lot of rose quartz, or anything that has to do with the heart chakra. Like you showed one crown, a third eye crown that had rose quartz for self-love and unconditional love. It had some green stones in there like unikite that helps with the same thing and helping you to let go. Rhodonite was in there. Rhodonite helps you to not only love yourself and others, but also help you to let go, because sometimes we hold on to relationships that does no longer serve us. We hold on to unforgiveness of ourselves and others. So it has I have a lot of stones that has to do with inner healing, helping you to do that inner work. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, back to the carnelian, working with the sacral chakra, working with the womb. um yeah, a lot of us have a lot of womb healing. As we as women, we have a lot of womb healing to do. And as we heal our wombs, I know Queen Afua has a it says I am a she has a affirmation. I am a healer and I heal myself in all my relations, for all my relations are my reflections.
Right.
Therefore, I heal myself, I heal all my relations. So as a woman and man heal themselves, we heal all those around us, especially we as women. We're natural born healers. We are here to heal the planet, to heal our relationships, to heal our all those around us.
Right.
To
Right.
So we have a job to do, but it starts with ourselves. So a lot of my work, I put that I keep that emphasis,
Uh-huh.
to help do the inner work. And of course, when they work with me one on one, I we're doing breath work, we're doing meditation, we're doing our salt baths and adding crystals in our baths. And, we're going deep. Whatever it is that we need to do, we do that as well. If we have to tackle diet and what have you, we tackle those things as well, because it's holistic healing. It's not just one thing. It's not just, oh, we eat perfect, but our mind is toxic.
Right, right.
It's not, oh, so it's like everything is included. So yeah.
Romana, I am on your Facebook page at your photos to show various artworks of yours. Are you okay with me showing that on
Sure.
you as well? Okay, so let me go ahead and now most of your photos are, let's see, on your mobile upload. Well, it seems like most all of it is your art. Okay, so hold on one moment. Let me bring this up. And I think while I'm doing that, someone had a question in the chat room
Okay.
about, let's see, hold on one second, about the super moon that's coming on the 31st. Any crystals that you can well, I was going to say recommend. Yes, that's the right word, not represent, but recommend for that day.
Hmm. I would recommend selenite. I would recommend kyanite, rutilated quartz, clear quartz, stones of that nature. I would recommend those. If you're somebody that's affected by the moon in in an adverse way, some people get very emotional at that time. I would recommend stuff like citrine, and because citrine, why I love citrine is because it works with our emotions. It helps us to accept things as they are, while at the same time gently healing our emotions. It's not technically considered like a moonstone
Mhm.
necessarily. And that's one thing that you will learn about me. I will tell you some of the basics of what is said in the books, but I don't go by that.
Mhm.
I teach people, any crystal can heal you in various ways, in various ways. And um you I teach that you have to get to know your crystal. When you get a crystal, ask the crystal to teach you what it is in your life for. Sometimes you might have an ailment, or whether it's emotional or physical or spiritual, and you freaking out because you don't have a particular crystal that the book says.
Right,
When you have all these crystals in your house, in your backyard, all
right,
kinds of things all around you that is ready to assist you. But we get so caught up with these prescriptions that someone else told us, when if we get still enough and get quiet enough and allow these stones, these herbs, whatever it is, even our herbs teaches us. Sometimes you might have a particular herb in your house and you're feeling sick, and it's not what the tradition is. It's not what's going on with you, and what this herb is traditionally known to do may not fit, but it's exactly what you need. It's
right,
exactly what you need. So, um, yeah, I teach about also getting to know your crystal, allowing it to teach you, allowing it to tell you what it is that it's there for. And you'll be surprised, and catalog it. Take note. I was going through this and I used this crystal, and it really helped me with my, arthritic pain. Catalog that, and pass it on to your children. Pass it on to those that are near and dear to you, because it might help them too. So yeah, I like I to go back to the question, I like citrine, because it helps with the emotions, and stuff like rose quartz, help you to remain calm. Another stone that you might want to add to that moonstone is to help with the moon is some labradorite.
Right. Oh, yeah, that is. Oh, I don't know. Can you see this purple, this photo of you with the purple, the crown? It's oh my,
Yes, that's
I
that third eye crown. That's amethyst.
right. That is so beautiful.
That's
I really
amethyst.
like that a lot.
And,
Oh, this is
yeah.
the recent one. Yeah. I just in the chat room, Ijerba, who is on high, she says, great point. It's beneficial to learn from the stone instead of relying on the book stuff. And speaking of which, you mentioned to me earlier that you use, I was asking you about tarot cards or oracle cards, and you mentioned that you use the stones in the similar way that people would use runes. You throw the stones. So, can you explain a little bit about that and how you began to cast stones?
I received a gift maybe 17 years ago or
Mhm.
maybe 18 years ago. It was a book called Urim and Thummim by Dr. York, and it
Okay.
came with a bag of stones. It
Oh,
was a
wow.
gift. Yeah, it came with a bag of stones, and each stone had carvings on them,
Uh-huh.
and each carving had some of the symbols
Hmm.
were were I guess I would say neutral. Like it doesn't matter how you turn it, it's gonna be that same symbol. And
Okay.
then most of the other symbols, it'll be an upright reading or a reverse. And there was meanings to each one of those. It came with a book. And so basically that's how I got into the stones. And the stones that I received, after a while, they started chipping.
Oh.
They were very thin, um, and they started chipping, and I was very disappointed. I was like, "Oh my goodness, I want, I, I, I want to preserve these, but I don't know how." And at the time, first of all, this book and these stones are no longer being made. Like you can't find them.
Hmm.
So they're no longer being made. So I was like, oh my goodness, how these stones have really, the thing about the way that he put this together, Dr. Malachi Z, or unlike certain readings, like these stones doesn't tell you what to do. It
Hmm.
doesn't take your power away. Even when
Right.
you ask the questions, you don't even ask. You just give an issue. You just say, okay, my relationship. And then the guardians give you a guidance based around that. You don't say, oh, should I leave him? Should I leave her? What should I do about this? No. You just say the issue is my relationship, and then you'll receive a guidance. And you can do many spreads. You can just pull once, you can just do a one stone, you can do multiple spreads, and you can do a whole lifetime spread. And so they were chipping, and I was disappointed. I thought I would never have them again. And somebody was like, you can make your own stones. I said,
There you
really?
go.
I was like, okay. And so I remember I went out in nature, and
Uh-huh.
I selected stones. I think it's 25. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember the exact amount of stones that's in the set. But I went and I intuitively picked those amounts of stones, and then I went home and I blessed them, and I carved the symbols on them. You
Hmm.
know, I um and I've had them ever since, and I told myself that I would do one with all what is traditionally considered crystals, even though I consider my rocks that I got crystals as well. But I said that I would do a set that's um based on the meaning of each symbol, intuitively pick a stone that matches that
Right.
and carve that symbol on that, so I love my stones, and they have guided me through many life ups and downs, and I even have friends and family come to my home for readings and stuff. I don't do it public, but if a friend or a family needs an assistance, I will do a reading for them. And I also got introduced when I was um, in school to pendulum readings. Before Queen of Fu school, the other school that I was in, to pendulum readings and pendulum charts. So I make pendulum, and I also have the charts, because with the pendulum, yes, you get the yes, no, maybe, not now, answers. But I wanted to go deeper, and I got introduced to the pendulum charts and how to also create your own charts based on what it is that you need. And I worked with that for years too. And I have a medical one where I would, see, okay, well, what part of the body is affected? What is it? Where does that illness stem from? Is it physical? Is it mental? Is it spiritual? Um, is it ancestral? And all that. It goes deep into all of that. There's like a vitamin chart, there's an amino acid chart, there's different crystals and colors that they might need, different herbs that they might need, and things like that. And I really love those charts. They have also assisted me as well. And I also, you like a Queen of Fool has an oracle card. I guess
Oh,
you would call it oracle card. It's Sacred Woman's card. I like just intuitively picking a card for the day and see what my focus needs to be for that day, and focus on that. So yeah.
very cool. Still going through all of your, I'm going to have you back on again, if you don't mind. If you don't,
Okay.
yeah. Well, your creations are very beautiful.
Thank you.
It's kept sacred. I like that image. That's nice.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, there you go. So, does anyone have any questions for Miss Romana? Let's see. Okay, just gonna scroll through here. Oh, and you also, along with your crowns and various gift boxes and bags of goodies, you sell individual stones, correct?
Yes, I mostly sell the large ones now. When I first started, I sold a lot of the small ones.
Uh-huh.
Um, but now you'll find the small ones in kits. You'll mostly find us, because I'm not a crystal store. I'm not a crystal shop.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I make my jewelry. I make my adornments,
Oh,
and
this one's gorgeous. This one is
that one is lemon. That one I call lavender lemonade. It's lemon. It's lemon quartz. It's
uh,
lemon quartz and amethyst.
wow,
Yeah, it's lemon quartz.
that is gorgeous. Okay.
Yeah.
So, if people wanted to get in touch with you to buy the larger stones, what's the best way? Should they contact you through Facebook or through Etsy or what?
Well, if they're not on my friends list, um, it's best to contact me through Etsy, because sometimes, like for a long time, I didn't even know that I had a secret message box on Messenger. I had all these messages I didn't even know even existed until until years later. So messages was going there because we weren't friends on Facebook, and I didn't even know. So on Etsy, you can message me. You can have, if you have a custom order, I custom it's not just what you see there. Let's say you want a particular crown with particular crystal, or particular pendant, or particular ring. You can just send me a message and describe what it is you want, and we go from there. And also, throughout the years, my focus have been women But when I first started, I had mostly male clients. I was doing mostly jewelry for men. So even though right now all you see is mostly jewelry for women, men can also message me and put in an order, and I make jewelry for men as well. So
Okay.
yes.
All right. Very
Yes.
cool.
But most of my customers are through Facebook. If you look at my Etsy shop, you would think that I never make sales, but that's because most people look me up on Facebook and we make transactions that way.
Uh-huh. Okay, very cool. All right, so I've kept you here over an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and bring this to a close, and I hope that I can have you back again, especially to see more of your creations, and as well as, to get your story again, since the volume was a little bit off at the beginning, and you
Well,
know.
thank you for having me.
Oh, you are so welcome. This has been such a pleasure, such a pleasure. And let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this to a close, and you can find Romana on Etsy as well as Facebook. Now, are your Facebook posts, are they set to public? Does a
Yes,
person?
my personal page is public.
Okay, so if people commented on your personal page, uh, they would be able to get your attention there. Correct.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Hmm.
so let me see. All right. So what I'll do is um, I'll put your Facebook page in the links below. Is that okay? Or
That's fine.
okay. All right. So we will do that. So let me put that down. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and bring this session to a close. And Romana, if you can just hold on after I close everything out. And I'd like to go ahead again and thank Romana for being here with all of her lovely light and beautiful self and awesome accoutrements. And you mentioned about picking up your own rocks. This is one rock that I picked myself, mica.
Beautiful.
I picked this in Philadelphia. I was out on a
That's
date.
beautiful.
Uh, the date D didn't go so well, but thankfully I can look at this rock and not even think about that part, but think about beautiful Mother Earth as I hold this rock. And so, I'm really big in the crystals, and one of the reasons why I wanted to have Romana on, so people can know that they can purchase some nice size chunks from her and know that they're getting quality items there. So thank you again, dear heart. Thank you so much. And I would like to invite everyone, if we can take a moment to remember our ancestors and all those who have transitioned before us. Nice deep centering breath. I'd like to thank everyone for being here, all of you that are here in the chat and watching on the replay. I encourage you to please like this video. Please click subscribe below, subscribe, and a little notification bell next to it, and you'll be notified of more great interviews to come. And when Romana will be back on the show. So I wish you peace and great bliss.